So I've spent 1 week in macOS, and this is a bit of an experience video because I was a Windows user for about 20 years, and I've been using Linux desktop environments for the past 2 years and have a whole different thing set up over there. I still use both of those operating systems, but I really wanted to dive into Mac because it's been a while since I've actually lived in it. I actually got certified back in OS Tiger, and I've been in IT for over 2 decades and have touched a little bit of everything. And while I could work on a Mac, I never really lived in one because of some preconceived notions about Apple users. I typically always lump them into two groups. One, the Apple fanboy that just buys everything that has the Apple logo on it. And then two, which is probably where most people live when it comes to the macOS users out there, and that's creative types, Photoshop, Adobe users, such as Premiere, After Effects, and then also those that love Final Cut Pro. So this is me using it for a week. I'm going to go over what changes I made to the actual base OS, the programs that I've been using and that I really enjoy in Mac, and then also kind of touch on some of the downfalls or the negatives of Mac OS, because there's just so much to go over, and I'll probably do another update video at the end of this month just to say, hey, here is the final verdict on Mac OS. But the first 7 days, I gotta say, I've really enjoyed myself more than I ever thought I would with macOS, and it was really because of just a couple aspects. I wouldn't necessarily switch everything to macOS, but some surprising things happened where I enjoyed it a lot more, which is just something I didn't expect to happen. But let's get into the actual video, jump over on the desktop, and start tackling the changes in how I'm using macOS today. I went ahead and took like a lot of my applications and kind of hid a lot of the Apple products like this right here. I'm going to try and delete Apple TV. I'm going to try and delete Siri and some other Mac OS built-ins that I don't particularly like Home and some other Find My iPhone. Like I said, I use iPhones. But getting past this, what did I do to the actual interface here? Some system preferences I've changed. Now, I went ahead and hated how the native window operation works. I like to get around and move things, and I just did all that just to kind of emphasize the ease of use. I use a third-party tool that I downloaded called Magnet. Very good, about $2 on the App Store. If anybody's living in macOS for any extended period of time, I would say this is pretty much a necessity to have Magnet going, because just moving around the windows is so much easier. Learning the hotkeys in Finder also was a little bit strange because I was so used to using like the Command Q to quit out of things. And when I'm in, I like to, let's pull up like App Store. Just doing the Command Q, I was so used to that coming from Linux that when I was in Finder, I kept hitting Command Q. And if you don't know, you can't quit Finder. You have to actually just close the window key. So with Command W, closing out of the window keys in Finder. And then when I'm in other apps and I want to quit them, I do Command Q as well. Unless I'm using it a lot, like Final Cut Pro, I typically leave open. And that brings us into the software section of Mac, as there wasn't too many modifications I made to the system just yet. Definitely at the 30-day mark, I will have made a lot of massive modifications to redo some of the design aesthetics. Because one thing I really don't like is the app tray. This entire bar down here, not a huge fan of. I also didn't like the launcher. I removed that completely. As far as launching programs, I just type it into Spotlight. This seems a lot more intuitive. That's why I really enjoy just doing that. I would honestly probably get rid of this or maybe push it into the title bar. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to customize that, as Macs are pretty locked down with the actual general look and feel of, which is kind of to be expected, much like Windows is. But coming from Linux, this is kind of a little bit of a down point that I'll get into at the end of the video. But as far as other actual applications on here, the two big suites that I would say if you use these on a daily basis, you probably should be using macOS or switch to macOS if you're a Windows or Linux user. And that would be the Creative Suite, the Creative Cloud Suite. I don't have much here. I mainly use Adobe DC for work. You know, whenever I'm editing a lot of PDF documents, I'll use Acrobat, which isn't necessarily bad, but this is pretty much it as far as the rest of the experience. I've used Photoshop, I've used Premiere, and if you're a big Adobe junkie, getting in here and using these programs, I think is the best experience on Mac OS, far and away. That's why creative types love it so much, but not just Adobe products. I was really surprised with Word and the Office 365 suite. Even though this is made by Microsoft, it feels a lot better on Mac. It's a lot snappier. It's a lot more reliable. It's a lot more stable, which it shouldn't be, but it just kind of goes to show how Windows has become just kind of like this giant Frankenstein of an operating system, to where even a product like Microsoft Office Suite doesn't work all that well on Windows, and actually works better on Mac because it's just how the operating system's a lot more stable compared to a Windows counterpart. I still prefer Linux, but when you get into Office 365 and that rolling updates and those types of things, it's just not available on Linux. And that's why I mainly would say, hey, if you're Office 365 and an Adobe user, this is the best experience you're going to get when it comes to just reliability and just launching and updating these applications on a weekly or monthly basis. Hey, great experience. Another great experience, and that's going to be Final Cut Pro. Let me open that up for you. And Final Cut Pro, I have to say, I am just blown away. I've been using Kdenlive for about 500 or 600 videos. This is the third video I've edited on Final Cut Pro, and it's so stinking simple. I think anybody that's done any kind of editing ever could just come in here, set up all their shortcuts, and go. I think about like maybe the 100th video I made and almost all my other editors that I've tried, because I was big on Filmora for a little bit. I did some DaVinci Resolve for about a month, about a DaVinci Resolve, and then Kdenlive is probably what I've used the most, with probably around 500 or 600 videos produced out of that. And it took me a long time to become at least decent in it. And the product and what I'm able to produce out of Final Cut here is the best product I've ever produced. I'm able to do color grading. I'm able to do transitions like the zoom effect and all these other things, and just be able to make a better product at the end of the day. I was blown away how much of a difference in production quality I could add to a video. And I'm only 3 videos in, and I already feel like it's a better product than what I was making in any of these other editors. That is just blows me away. Just learning color grading, for instance. That, I think, is huge. Let me know what you think of this video. I'm sure I've messed up the color grade completely, because this is the very first video I've ever color graded in my life. So I know things are not going to be perfect, and I'm afraid of what YouTube's going to do to it. But with me, I like to leave all the videos up, and then I'll be able to refer back to this in a couple years and go, oh, you remember those first Final Cut Pro videos? They're terrible. But I don't know. I out of the videos I've produced out of this, I am just blown away by the options, how much I can do with it, and the shortcuts. This is going to save me so much time, and this is going to be my full-time editor. I would keep a Mac around just for this aspect of it. That's how good Final Cut Pro is, and I'm no Apple fanboy, and I did not want to admit this. I wanted to come in and just skewer people for spending this much money on an editor, but it's a heck of a lot better than Adobe Premiere. And nothing even below that is even professional quality. Maybe DaVinci Resolve, but I can never get a good workflow going in it. And then everything below that, open source and free, you're just lacking a lot of features out of those pieces of software. They're good software. It's just when you need to become a little more professional and add more things, such as color correction, they just don't hold up. Moving on to some more of the technical side of things and other cool aspects is the terminal. I don't like the built-in terminal, and I've switched over to iTerm 2 for this. Look at that, we just got an update. I really enjoy this. I'm able to do all the ZSH customizations, and any of the terminal stuff I was using in Linux, I'm now using Mac. It's great. I'm just, blown away by that. Do I have NeoFetch or NeoFetch installed here? Let's try to install some stuff real fast just to kind of showcase some of the neat things about Mac. Now, I will say when I'm going through here and updating like a NeoFetch, this is more of a Linux guy in me coming to Mac, where when I was on Windows, if I came directly from Windows, I probably wouldn't be messing with the terminal that much. But coming from Linux, adding the functionality that I learned in Linux to Mac OS really helps me like this operating system a lot more. I think as a Windows user, just coming directly to Mac and not even opening up terminal like a lot of Mac users don't, I don't know if I would like this operating system very much. However, switching out from the stock terminal to iTerm 2 and adding a lot of the functionality and adding a lot of the things I love about Linux terminal directly into Mac, oh man, it's really kind of like a good hybrid between a Windows system and a Linux system, to where I'm able to really appreciate this operating system a lot more than I would have if I was just coming directly from Windows. Okay, that took quite a long time, actually. There was a big update to Homebrew, but let's go ahead and run NeoFetch now. And there we are. We have our NeoFetch. A lot of different options. There's also something called Homebrew Casts. That's how I've installed VS Code, Moonlight, which if you go to VS Code, this is where I would go ahead and update my website or maybe compile anything that you're looking for. VS Code's a very reliable software that many people use. I also installed Moonlight. This is when it comes to gaming. I've touched this briefly on a past video about gaming on Mac, which is even inferior to Linux, which if you're a big hardcore PC gamer, you're usually running Windows. I actually have a Windows box back here, and I love just using Moonlight and streaming my games directly to either Linux or Mac because it doesn't matter. And I actually have a whole video where I was using a Raspberry Pi and streaming Modern Warfare directly to the Pi, which was a lot of fun playing that type of game on a little Raspberry Pi. It's just a good way to unlock the gaming, as Mac has other stuff. I just don't deal with any of the games in Mac at all. And then, of course, GIMP is my photo editor of choice. Not much difference coming from Linux or Windows. GIMP is just there. It's reliable. I'm able to use it for everything I need it for, and it's great. So that's GIMP. And the rest for my mail, I do use Apple Mail for my Gmail and then Microsoft Outlook for my work email. Both these work great. No complaints. As far as anything else I have installed here, we have Barrier. That allows me to work between all my PCs, as I have a ton of things in the back rack and about 5 or 6, actually 6 monitors here. And I'm able to go through each one with just the same keyboard and mouse, even though they're different machines. Barrier's the open source project. If you're looking for a more polished commercial product, Barrier spun off of Synergy. And that's what I use. That's this guy right here. Then I got my Synology Drive. I use that to send all my video wherever I need it to go. I have my password manager, RoboForm, which integrates nicely with Mac. Magnet, we already went over. Time Machine is a great backup software. I hooked up my Synology volume directly to this, and it just backs up about every hour or so, I think. And then we have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and Spotlight. The rest, pretty darn simple. I really have enjoyed my first week, and let's talk about some of the cons now. So what haven't I liked about the macOS experience? Probably there's only 2 things that really would keep me from putting this in a lot more places than just my production machine for video editing. The first one is cost. They're not cheap. Even though the Mac Mini is an extremely powerful machine at $700, I would still say it's not worth putting everywhere, as other operating systems have their own charm and their own positives. Like my Linux, I know I'm secure, private, and I'm able to do a lot more stuff in it. And Windows, I've already touched on, is great for gaming. And Mac, I really find when it comes to photo editing and also video editing, man, I can't imagine a better operating system than this right here. However, the cost is a big downer. Also, the customizability. Pretty much every Mac looks about the same, and I'm going to try and kind of break through this pain point and see what all I can change, because I don't like some of the aesthetics and some of the aspects of Mac OS. But with all that said, let me know your thoughts. This is my first week on Mac. Is this about what you expect out of someone like me? Probably. But what were your feelings of macOS when it comes down to it? Because overall, I think it's great for some one-off situations, and I'm going to continue using it for my video edits. And let me know your thoughts on this video compared to my last videos that were edited in Kdenlive and not much editing actually done, where Final Cut Pro, this is my first color grade I've ever done in my life. How's it look? Because I'm going to be honest, it's probably going to be worse because this is my first go at it. But anyways, let me know that too. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.